Random House Audio presents Vampires in the Lemon Grove by Karen Russell. Read for you by Arthur Morey, Joy Osmansky, Kaleo Griffith, Jesse Bernstein, Mark Bramhall, Michael Bybee, Romy Rosemont, and Robbie Damond.
Vampires in the Lemon Grove. In October, the men and women of Sorrento harvest the primo fiore, or first flowering fruit, the most succulent lemons. In March, the yellow bianchetti ripen, followed in June by the green verdelli. In every season you can find me, sitting at my bench, watching them fall. Only 1 or 2 lemons tumble from the branches each hour, but I've been sitting here so long their falls seem contiguous, close as raindrops. My wife has no patience for this sort of meditation. "Jesus Christ, Clyde," she says, "you need a hobby." Most people mistake me for a small, kindly Italian grandfather, a nonno. I have an old nonno's coloring, the dark walnut stain peculiar to southern Italians, a tan that won't fade until I die, which I never will. I wear a neat periwinkle shirt, a canvas sun hat, black suspenders that sag at my chest. My loafers are battered but always polished. The few visitors to the lemon grove who notice me smile blankly into my raisined face and catch the whiff of some sort of tragedy. They whisper that I am a widower, or an old man who has survived his children. They never guess that I am a vampire. Santa Francesca's lemon grove, where I spend my days and nights, was part of a Jesuit convent in the 1800s. Today it's privately owned by the Alberti family. The prices are excessive, and the locals know to buy their lemons elsewhere. In summers, a teenage girl named Fila mans a wooden stall at the back of the grove. She's painfully thin, with heavy black bangs. I can tell by the careful way she saves the best lemons for me, slyly kicking them under my bench, that she knows I am a monster. Sometimes she'll smile vacantly in my direction, but she never gives me any trouble. And because of her benevolent indifference to me, I feel a swell of love for the girl. Fila makes the lemonade and monitors the hot dog machine, watching the meat rotate on wire spigots. I'm fascinated by this machine. The Italian name for it translates as carousel of beef. Who would have guessed at such a device 200 years ago? Back then we were all preoccupied with visions of apocalypse. Santa Francesca, the foundress of this very grove, gouged out her eyes while dictating premonitions of fire. What a shame, I often think, that she foresaw only the end times, never hot dogs. A sign posted just outside the grove reads, "Cigarette pie, heat dogs, granite drinks, Santa Francesca's limonata, the most refreshing drink on the planet." Every day tourists from Wales and Germany and America are ferried over from cruise ships to the base of these cliffs. They ride the funicular up here to visit the grove, to eat heat dogs with speckly brown mustard and sip lemon ices. They snap photographs of the Alberti brothers, Benny and Luciano, teenage twins who cling to the tree's wooden supports and make a grudging show of harvesting lemons, who spear each other with trowels and refer to the tourist women as vaginas in Italian slang. "Buonasera, vaginas," they cry from the trees. I think the tourists are getting stupider. None of them speak Italian anymore, and these new women seem deaf to aggression. Often I fantasize about flashing my fangs at the brothers, just to keep them in line. As I said, the tourists usually ignore me. Perhaps it's the dominoes. A few years back I bought a battered red set from Benny, a prop piece, and this makes me invisible, sufficiently banal to be hidden in plain sight. I have no real interest in the game. I mostly stack the pieces into little houses and corrals. At sunset, the tourists all around begin to shout, "Look, up there!" It's time for the path of I pipistrelli impazziti, the descent of the bats. They flow from cliffs that glow like pale chalk, expelled from caves in the seeming billions. Their drop is steep and vertical, a black hail. Sometimes a change in weather sucks a bat beyond the lemon trees and into the turquoise sea. It's 300 feet to the lemon grove, 600 feet to the churning foam of the Tyrrhenian. At the precipice they soar upward and crash around the green tops of the trees. "Oh!" the tourists shriek, delighted, ducking their heads. Up close the bats' spread wings are alien membranes, fragile, like something internal flipped out. The waning sun washes their bodies a dusky red. They have wrinkled black faces, these bats, tiny, like gargoyles or angry grandfathers. They have teeth like mine. Tonight, one of the tourists, a Texan lady with a big strawberry red updo, has successfully captured a bat in her hair, simultaneously crying real tears and howling, "Take the goddamn picture, Sarah!" I stare ahead at a fixed point above the trees and light a cigarette. My bent spine goes rigid. Mortal terror always trips some old wire that leaves me sad and irritable. It will be whole minutes now before everybody stops screaming. The moon is a muted shade of orange. Twin disks of light burn in the sky and the sea. I scan the darker indents in the skyline, the cloudless spots that I know to be caves. I check my watch again. It's 8 o'clock, and all the bats have disappeared into the interior branches. Where is Magreb? My fangs are throbbing, but I won't start without her. I once pictured time as a black magnifying glass and myself as a microscopic, flightless insect trapped in that circle of night. But then Magreb came along, and eternity ceased to frighten me. Suddenly each moment followed its antecedent in a neat chain, moments we filled with each other. I watch a single bat falling from the cliffs, dropping like a stone, head first, motionless, dizzying to witness. "Pull up!" I close my eyes. I press my palms flat against the picnic table and tense the muscles of my neck. "Pull up!" I tense until my temples pulse, until little black and red stars flutter behind my eyelids. "You can look now." Magreb is sitting on the bench, blinking her bright pumpkin eyes. "You weren't even watching. If you saw me coming down, you'd know you have nothing to worry about." I try to smile at her and find I can't. My own eyes feel like ice cubes. "It's stupid to go so fast." I don't look at her. "That easterly could knock you over the rocks." "Don't be ridiculous. I'm an excellent flyer." She's right. Magreb can shape-shift mid-air much more smoothly than I ever could. Even back in the 1850s, when I used to transmute into a bat 2-3 times a night, my metamorphosis was a shy, halting process. "Look," she says, triumphant, mocking, "you're still trembling." I look down at my hands, angry to realize it's true. Magreb roots through the tall black blades of grass. "It's late, Clyde. Where's my lemon?" I pluck a soft, round lemon from the grass, a summer moon, and hand it to her. The verdelli I have chosen is perfect, flawless. She looks at it with distaste and makes a big show of brushing off a marching ribbon of ants. "A toast," I say. "A toast," Magreb replies, with the rote enthusiasm of a Christian saying grace. We lift the lemons and swing them to our faces.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?